Darkness. No parents. Continue darkness.
Having a little trouble up there?
Joker.
You're expecting maybe Two-Face?
There's no escape, Joker.
Two-Face isn't even in this game.
I don't want to assume
Oh no, he's in the other game.
much fun. I even have you here to
I
give
think that's the one I have. I thought that was the first one,
Not for long.
where Bruce Wayne is being like led into a prison.
No, that's Arkham City. That's the next game.
Oh, okay.
you were planning on following
Why is Bruce Wayne going into the Arkham prison? Did he do tax fraud?
his way to Harlem.
What?
Because okay, so there's no way that all the shit that Bruce Wayne does to enable his career as Batman is legal.
Why not?
Like he's basically a private weapons developer for himself.
Wait, really?
Like, have you seen the shit that Batman has? Like, he's got fucking
Yeah,
high
of course.
explosive, he's got like high-tech body armor. He has a fucking.
But how does the company make money?
By being good businesses.
What does Batman produce? What goods and or service does Batman sell?
Uh,
All right, canonically, what does Wayne Corp do?
that depends on which like who's right.
Most commonly, you're going the opposite way that the arrow's telling you, by the way.
No, it's fine.
Oracle
Okay.
getting him back.
Like,
Joker will
okay,
not
fine.
win.
What did Wayne's parents do? What did the Wayne family do before they got fucking shot?
If I find Frank, I'll find your father.
Bruce, hurry, please.
Yeah? Do you not know? Alright, I'm gonna go look this up. What did Wayne Wayne parents company even do? Wayne Enterprises. It is a conglomerate. Is a green company.
I know they do like tech research and fucking and medical advances sometimes.
So in the Wikipedia page of Wayne Enterprise, just straight of Wikipedia
Yeah.
of Wayne Enterprises, it says that it's a green company, which is just to be a company that is green. But I've also got a lot of subsidiaries, and branches.
Well, yeah, they're like a mega
Of?
corp. They do a lot of different things.
Okay. Did they do that, like, back then? Oh, in the 17th century, it was a merchant house. Okay, that makes more sense. And then they branched into security, research, aerospace, technology, foods, shipping, yards, industries, okay, biotech, okay. That's getting kind of close there to Raccoon City. Medical, electronics, entertainment, construction, chemicals, and steel.
Oracle, I'm at the holding cell.
So
I'm setting up a crime scene.
So what's the plan?
that's weird.
Living in that room,
Yeah.
speak to both?
Exactly.
I don't really have a good answer for you because nobody has ever really asked me about that because I don't know anybody who's ever cared that much about like where Wayne Tech gets its success from. Like,
But,
it's
like,
kind
the-
of one of it's kind of one of those things that people just take for
See what
like
the forensic
granted.
scanner
Like,
picks up.
yeah, Batman's rich. His company
Okay.
does
I can
business stuff.
follow traces about
Tony Stark is simple.
Tony
His-
Stark is a much
I've got a
more
trail.
direct. Like, he was a weapons developer. He got super rich from it. Now he's not.
Maybe useful later.
Yeah, that's it. And now he's just really good at making Iron Man suits and related technologies to facilitate that.
Yeah.
But also he does, like, but that's where he came from, as being a weapons tech. So, like, the correlation between weapons tech, Iron Man, simple.
Yeah.
We did it. I can't, is this just like whenever I ask you, like, a random tidbit in, like, some fucking movie that you're very, very passionate about? And I'm just like, alright, but where does that come from? And you're just like, fuck, I thought I had a
Why
big
you-
dick.
It's like, why do you ask about the one thing I didn't really care to think about?
Yeah, but meanwhile, like, during, like, before all of that, you'll go on for, like, 30 minutes about how, like, the thing comes from outer space. The same thing that shows up in Fantastic Four! And how it shows up in Norway and starts eating people.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, so this is more of that detective bullshit. I don't know if you know.
I think it's cool.
Gordon got clonked over the head. Now we have to go find him. So
Okay.
we're tracing the alcohol content in the air to find the guy who took him.
Like, the guy just had, like, a fucking shot of whiskey and started walking down the hallway?
Well, back there, while you were Googling, I had scanned a whiskey flask.
Oh.
And now we're matching the alcohol content
Okay.
in the air to the contents of the whiskey flask to try and find him.
I don't feel like whiskey stays in the air that long, but I'm willing to suspend my disbelief for a video
It
game.
happened like 2 minutes ago, so.
Yeah, well, still, kind
It's
of a
one
long
those
time.
Nice touches. The detective stuff in this game really isn't that deep. It really just comes down to, like, walk over here, scan this thing, find whatever environmental detail you need to find that the game will usually highlight for you. But it does the job enough, and it's neat mechanics to, I don't want to say pad the game out, but to add just some depth to what you're doing.
To variety, you mean?
Yeah.
To break up monotony?
Yeah. Then,
Batman, your
also,
chest!
I've never... I personally, I'm sure they exist, I've never actually played a game that's like, where the character is like a detective, or like a hunter, or like an investigator stuff that actually requires like proper critical thinking and problem solving
You know-
on the part of the player. Like that was that was one of the problems I had with Witcher when I played it, and that Geralt is supposed to be this like expert monster hunter, but all you ever really do is like hold down the medallion button and interact with whatever highlighted environmental detail it provides for you.
Well, number one, according to people's perception of him, he is a master monster hunter on account of him just being able to find them despite any tracking. Because if he actually was, you'd be playing Monster Hunter.
Well, Monster Hunter doesn't have much as the way of monster hunting.
Does it not? I
you
feel
do.
like...
No, it's more Monster Fighter would be a more accurate describer for that series. Also,
yeah, I guess.
you did point it out earlier, and that's also one of the cool details about this game, is that Batman's costume got fucked up earlier.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be...
From the cutscene.
Yeah, and that's going to be reflective on the model throughout the rest of the game. And as the game goes, he's going to get more and more beat up, and his costume's going to get more fucked up. And
That's cool.
That might not sound like that impressive of a thing, but it was a...
But for 2006, it was.
It was a cool detail when it came out that I remember a lot of people remarking on.
Harleen Quinzel. Call me Harley. Everyone does. I'm surprised you want
Is she holding a butt plug in her left hand?
always had a thing for extreme.
I mean, if you're
That's some fucking...
You can't deny there's an element
Because
of
that is a
glamour
bitch
to
breaker
this
right there.
I'll warn you right now. These are hardcore
So these are one of the
psychotics.
collectibles we can find throughout, and they're probably the coolest, which are these interview tapes for various
They'll eat you for breakfast.
various characters and criminals.
One or two of them
Okay.
will
Which,
enjoy
if
So
you
it's like
don't
the-
know much
the
about
codex-
them, which if you don't know much about them, it can be pretty fun to learn all these. That dialogue
Yeah.
right there was more or less ripped straight from the Mad Love episode of Batman the Animated Series, which is where
Oh.
Harley originates from. So
Okay.
that's a nice touch.
Wait, she's from the animated series?
Yes, she is not.
She's
originally
not a
from-
comic book character. She's an animated character.
She was obviously eventually brought to comic books, but she
Of course.
originated in the cartoon.
Whoa! Is this like the Resident Evil movies or the Resident Evil games taking from the Resident Evil movies?
They've never done that. Shut the fuck up.
Yes, the Resident Evil games totally did take from the Resident Evil movies.
No.
I don't know where, but when we come to it, I will have watched all of the Resident Evil movies again so I can point it out.
There are scenes in the Resident Evil movies that are straight up lifted.
The laser hallway!
That is from games. That's from Resident Evil 4.
No, that's from the movie, and then they put it into the game.
No.
I feel like
you
you're
will see when we get to the Resident Evil 4. You will see how that is straight up lifted, almost scene for scene, from the goddamn laser hallway in Resident Evil 4.
No, Resident Evil. Oh shit, Resident
Fucking be googling. We got a video.
Evil 4 release date and Resident Evil movie release date. Resident Evil 4 came out 2005. Resident Evil movie came out in 2002.
Well, the laser hallway wasn't until like the third movie or whatever.
I don't think so. Resident Evil movie laser hallway, that was in the first one. Because they had to go and find Red Queen, right? Oh, Red Queen! She came into the games from the movies.
Red Queen, I want to say, was in Resident Evil 2.
What?
Yeah. She was the...
Are you sure? Are you fucking with me?
I do not fuck with you when it comes to Resident Evil.
You have! You have! We have hours of footage!
We have nothing.
That is culturally correct, but factually wrong.
Anyway, this is essentially the third layer of gameplay that we're gonna play with. Is the exploration and it's more or less platforming that we're doing right now.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of areas in this game that do actually require a fair amount of traversal in order to get to, which can make backtracking kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
Now, you could also say that the investigation and puzzle solving that we were doing earlier was also part of like a fourth layer, but personally I find it too basic to really count it. It's more like a bonus thing.
Okay.
So there's this weird shit.
Yeah, this doesn't look, the spirit of Arkham? What the fuck?
I am the spirit of Amadeus Arkham.
What?
For my actions, I have saved this cursed city, though my own curse is to forever remain in the shadows.
Ratman?
My story is carved into the very soul of Arkham, and will only be revealed to those dedicated enough to discover it.
So basically, whoever the fuck finds this.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So this goes back to the nature of Arkham Asylum varying depending on who's writing it.
Oh,
And
Lord.
there are versions
Okay.
of where Arkham Asylum is a literal, like, fucking Lovecraftian hell house.
I thought you were gonna say, like, Indian burial ground.
Well, yeah, I don't remember where it's from, but there was a version of Arkham Asylum where it's literally built, like, atop of like a god of evil, or, like, insanity or whatever.
That's fucking metal. And
Yeah,
that
it is.
suits, like, the world of Batman, in my opinion.
It also helps tie it back into its namesake, which is the Arkham Asylum from Lovecraftian lore.
Oh, that's where that's from. See, a lot of people talk about Lovecraft, but I feel like literally nobody's read Lovecraft. Mostly because that guy's cat had a very fun...
I honestly think that the amount of people who say they really like Lovecraft are heavily
Talking out of their ass.
Getting close.
heavily outweigh the
Harley
amount of
Quinn
people
tried to
who
slow me down,
actually
dropped
have
an
read
elevator
Lovecraft.
on me.
And
Yeah.
that's not to say Lovecraft
Of course
stuff
not.
is
I'll
bad.
get back to you when I
It's
reach
just
No.
it's kind of hard to like ingest, like as a regular reader, and a lot of it doesn't focus on what people actually really like about Lovecraft stuff. Because Lovecraft stuff, like, that people really like about, it's like the crazy fucking squid people and the fucking
Yeah.
insanity bullshit. And, like, that doesn't actually come into effect for a lot of Lovecraft stories. And I feel like that,
They like the theming. They like the fucking art. They like the concept art for Lovecraft more than they actually like
and you know what?
Lovecraft.
That's fine because Lovecraft.
I don't think so.
Lovecraftian, like, it's become a thing that transcends
Oracle.
fucking
Joker's men have taken
Lovecraft
control
himself.
of the cell block transfer corridor.
That's not good.
Just like how
When a lot of people
Evangelion has transcended the creator's intent.
I know.
I guess in a
Calibrate
way.
the Cowl's vision mode.
So like when a lot of people say they like Lovecraft,
The direct
they really
approach
mean
is
they
suicide.
like
You need to be
Lovecraftian
smart.
things.
Find a different way past them.
That's kind... Dude... I don't know. I just think it's like... It's... I feel like it's a poser. You're a fucking poser if you like... Don't say you like the anime if you haven't read the light novel. I actually know a guy who says that shit.
Really?
He's just like, yeah, like, I made a joke, like, I made fun of him by doing the whole clapping thing, but he's just like, oh, yeah, I was really excited for the manga, I was really excited to hear about the manga being released after I read the light novel. And he's just like, dude, I read all the light novels for these animes, and I love them so much more than that. And I'm just like, holy shit, you're that guy, except you're taking it to, like, another degree. And then he did the clapping thing, and then he's just like, ha ha ha, yes.
I just want to point out how fucked up this guy is.
What the fuck? Okay,
Like,
can we
I
please
think-
enhance these pixels?
Like I want to say that that's meant to be hair, but
It looks like bone.
like his like the color they went with is like matches his skin tone perfectly to the point where it literally looks like he's got fucking spikes bone grafted onto his skull. Like, what
That's
the
so
shit?
cool, though. Like, you've seen some of, like, the body mods that kids do,
Oh,
that
yeah.
people
Like,
used
people-
to do.
People do some freaky ass stuff to themselves.
People made, like, those weird-ass horns and shit,
Yeah.
which is just, like, fucking injecting, Botox or something into their forehead.
He must not leave this building.
So what happens if you take him down right now?
I mean,
Does the video feed end?
it's worth noting that Joker can totally see us right now.
Yeah, I know! That's what I'm asking, it's just like, if that happens, then Joker would the video feed would probably stop. But he could totally see us.
Just do it and have fun. I know I will.
Okay.
Oh, look who it is. Oh, he is burning. I suppose I'd better warn my boys you're on the way. Hey, maybe I won't. It'll be a nice surprise.
Those screens should not be working at all. Oh, so you said that like there were a lot of games where games don't make you feel enough like a detective when you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like,
And-
did you like put any sort of like disclaimer on that as like only certain types of games fail to do that, or was it just like a
no
blanket
game
statement?
that I've played have really properly made you
Okay,
like
I feel
require something
like
that.
any old ass styled point and click adventure game
Sure, yeah.
does that to a degree.
Yeah, and I will concede that I haven't
Played any of
any
them?
of them. I would appreciate something like that being realized in a modern game.
Yeah.
Because
There-
and that really just comes down to I feel like games are requiring less and less. At least like proper like AAA releases.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I've only ever really played one stealth game,
Yeah,
and it was for the PlayStation 2. Did you have a PlayStation 2?
I did have a PlayStation 2.
Okay. It was this game called Mark of Cree. Have you ever... So I'm guessing from your reaction, you've not played Mark of Cree.
I have not.
Have you played those sniper flash games? Like those stick figure sniper flash games?
Yes.
It's very similar to that in execution, to where you need to, like, properly eliminate targets in... What the...
Reacting to
Oh, he just-
events going off.
Yeah, he was just. That's so cool.
And you can see like a bit of what I was talking about here. Yeah. Like
Red is agitated.
It's
and
tracking
oh.
his BPMs, and he's fucking freaking the shit out right now because he's the only one left.
That's cool.
And you got the Joker fucking taunting him over the intercom.
Wait, why is the Joker taunting him?
Because it's fun.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, crush his fucking skull with your massive metal boots, Isaac Clarke. Dude, I want to see Batman mixed with so many things. I want to see Isaac Clarke Batman. I want to see Batman in space fighting xenomorphs.
Batman is a cool character. He is not, like, he's not my favorite DC character, and I don't like him as much as some people do, but he is a cool character, and when he's, like, when the writers are, like, doing their thing
Competent.
and they're doing it good, and, like, Batman is fucking, like, firing on all cylinders, he is a really cool character.
Yeah, so who is your favorite, guy?
Like, DC character?
Yeah, sure.
I've read a lot of Superman.
Okay.
There are characters that I would like more if they appeared in more stuff.
Okay.
That are just, unfortunately, too niche to really, like, get the attention that I would want them to.
Alright.
Like, I really like Power Girl. I think she is a really cool character, and I wish she was in more stuff and got to do more stuff. But unfortunately, she really only has like one like comic run that's really worth reading.
Alright, I have a question.
Yeah.
What's the difference between Power Girl and Supergirl?
Power Girl is Supergirl from Earth 2.
Fucking shit, dude!
Power Girl is the version of Supergirl who survived the unification of the multiverse and on Crisis of Infinite Earths.
That's kind of cool. But there isn't any like real.
She's only one of only like 3 or 4 characters at the time that had survived that and continued from that continuity.
Okay, that's interesting. So like, I'm assuming that DC had like a lot of fucking reboots.
DC's had a few, yeah. It is one of the things that used to distinguish them more from Marvel Comics. In that for a while,
Where they would just
Marvel.
Would they be inventive?
Well,
with their settings.
For a while, Marvel would just more or less keep everything in continuity and just adjust the timelines.
Okay.
Like Spider-Man from the 1960s all the way up to like 2014 or whatever.
Were the same Spider-Man?
Yeah, more or less. Like it was the same character.
That's cool.
Everything was supposed to be within
Joker
the same
must have figured out
continuity.
how I was tracking Gordon.
That, of course,
Officer
has changed in
Ball's
recent
trail
years
stops
because
here.
Marvel has finally. This guy gonna look like he got face fucked by the Hulk.
Hulk nut.
That's changed in recent years
Hulk
because
smack.
Marvel has now finally done their own reboot, primarily to bring the universe in line with the cinematic universe.
Yeah. Okay. Why did Warner Brothers stop being good? Because this is like during the era where Warner Brothers was still doing shit, right?
It depends on like where you're directing that question. Do you mean like movies or?
Sure, movies.
Because Warner Brother games haven't been awful. Like I don't like they've had some serious fucking like breaks put on anytime they're doing good things. Like this fucking Arkham Knight was a fucking dumpster fire for them. And they got some really bad publicity from the second Middle Earth game. I think it's like Shadow of War. I think that's what it is.
Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah. But all in all, they don't have the worst track record for games. Like they got there's some, like they don't have the dips and valleys that some other companies do. They just have like sometimes they'll put out a good game, sometimes they'll put out a bad game, and it's kind of sprinkled out. Anyway, Riddler really wants us to solve this riddle.
By
he'll get
telling
really
portrait
mad if we
and
don't do it.
Alright, so throw the batarang at it. Hello?
So,
Wow!
now, if you just hold down the detective vision button instead of tapping it, you'll scan the environment. And that's how you solve riddles.
Okay.
You just scan environmental details matching to whatever clue Riddler gives you.
Alright.
So this is basically our collectibles menu, which is the Riddler challenge.
Is this Banjo-Kazooie?
I don't know. I've never played Banjo-Kazooie.
It's a 3D platformer. You'd hate it.
Probably.
Oh.
They're made up of stuff you destroy with batarangs.
Okay.
Riddler.
So are we
trophies you
done
find in
shooting
the
teeth?
environment. Stuff you pick up, like the interview tapes, and then stuff you scan, like the riddles or the Arkham Chronicles that we saw earlier. There
Alright.
are.
So what do these unlock?
On their own, they just give you XP to level you up and unlock more abilities.
Yeah, but the key, what does that unlock?
These I think just mean that
what?
they're in areas that are locked off to us right now.
But it says that. But what if when you complete them, it says that it unlocks a reward? So what rewards does it unlock? Is it like context
stuff
specific
like
or
concept art and stuff like that? Nothing in game.
So nothing that the regular person should care about, and only psychos should.
Yeah. Now there is not. Now the unfortunate part is if you want to be able to do everything gameplay wise, there is not enough experience in the game to unlock all of the gameplay upgrades.
What?
Without getting all the Riddler stuff.
So you can kill every enemy?
Well, enemies don't respawn is the thing. There are...
You fucking killed them! You're Batman and you're a murderer!
Yeah, sure. So yeah, and enemies don't respawn, so you can't farm for XP.
That's...
There are story triggers and environmental triggers that will cause more enemies to populate an area. But like you'll see later, but like once we clear an area and come back, like these guys are still gonna be not here.
Okay.
So if
this
you
dude
want
looks
to be
like
able to unlock everything, you have to do all the Riddler stuff.
We're not gonna unlock everything though, are we? This dude looks like a fucking
This guy
mom's
looks like Walter
boyfriend.
White.
Oh yeah, true. I was gonna say like mom's boyfriend.
Yeah. I will toy with doing the Riddler stuff
Was Bowles
off
alone?
screen. Because if you do all of them, you do get a special
They were just killing everyone in the room.
like
I had no
completion
choice. I got
message
in here, locked
that
the door. I could see it on the
Is
might
it
be worth looking
important?
at, but
They had someone with them. It looked
I
like
mean it's a
commissioner.
side content, but there's a
Bowles
lot
is
of
dead.
side content in
They
this game.
carried on without him.
Yeah,
For-
I don't
For
think
For lack of a better term, there's a lot of side
You
quests
scum.
in this game.
we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, so maybe I'll go and do
I'm
them
sorry,
all
buddy.
off screen. It's a fucking pain. Like they get a
I
bit
don't-
better in later games because they add more gameplay layers to it. Like in the second game, the Riddler challenges, as you complete them, you unlock special levels to save the civilians that he's captured.
Okay.
Going
to the women's room.
Oh, okay. There.
That's it? I thought... Okay.
What?
I thought that it was like a restroom or
No,
something,
it's just
but
a,
like...
it's just a locker room. It's a change room.
Alright, what's the point of having this locker room be connected, like, not separated at all?
You don't know Jack about Gotham. Tune in to find out. And that unlocks a bio for Jack Ryder.
Who's Jack Ryder?
Jack Ryder is the reporter for the Gotham Gazette, I want to say. Or,
Does he have superpowers?
he's just a side character. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of character bios and information and stuff that I really appreciate, because it shows the level of care they went into representing the comic books.
Did that just spawn you in front of a wall?
Yeah, it looked weird, huh?
Yeah, it did.
So those doors that you go through are actually loading masks. And on consoles, you can get this really awkward position where Batman reaches to open a door, and he just sits there holding the handle for a couple seconds while the next area loads, and then he walks through.
Okay.
Also, those sliding doors we were going through in the Asylum, the ones that like split open. Some of them you'll have to stand there waiting while the area in front of you loads. So
that's kind of bad.
Yeah.
But
so
I mean, like,
Arkham Asylum.
That's Arkham City. It's very clearly a city.
Again, one thing that ranges from depiction to depiction is how big Arkham actually is. Because this
is it at least consistent in?
This looks like a fucking like school or like a university campus or something. This place is huge.
Yeah. But like that's just regular ass city. That's just Gotham.
Oh yeah, Gotham's right over there.
Yeah. Also, where is Gotham
also, look how
on the
big
map?
This fucking moon is.
It's a fucking eldritch moon.
Like that's a Bloodborne moon.
So aptly named.
Gotham is based on Chicago, primarily in most of it.
All right.
So it is.
Well,
so it's mostly on the East Coast.
Okay. Well, East Coast-ish, but yes, it is the time zone of East.
It is DC's Chicago, whereas Metropolis is DC's New York.
Of course. I thought, like, instinctually, I just thought that Gotham was Detroit.
I mean, it's got some aspects in there.
But then I realized, you know what? Chicago for the 2000s? Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
And some of it is replicated in the backstory of Gotham, whereas, like, its history was, like, built on, like, swamp layers and stuff. It's similar to Chicago's developmental history. I don't know where I'm going. Rescue Commissioner Gordon. Stop giving me the,
I thought I saw Oh. I thought that grate up there. Isn't that where you're supposed to go?
So...
Do you think they saw you the second time?
Did not have a way to actually open that right now, because it is on a wall, and I am not Spider-Man.
But you're Batman, you can hang upside down.
Yeah. These are good. These are good deals.
Why would you hit them then?
So, the nutcases are running wild. Do you need any help?
Hey look, I remember you. You were inside the fucking prison.
Twice.
Oh, okay. Apparently, Wayne Foods is one of the older Wayne Enterprise like subsidiaries of like trying to get farmers' foods to the market. So that helps. So I'm kind of curious as to like what exact. So I think during like
the Waynes are a very old family.
Yeah, a very old family. But I think what that means is that during the original run of Batman, which is like what, set in the 30s or something?
Batman was published in 1940, I want to say.
Okay, so I was close. I was gonna say 30s, 40s. So like during that time, I want to say that like Wayne Enterprises was probably doing construction, steel, or industry.
I mean,
and I think it's like that sounds about right for what like Wayne's parents were doing at the time and how they were getting rich at that time.
As far as like Bruce's work as like the head of Wayne Enterprises, Wayne Tech is pretty much involved in every industry you can name.
Well, yeah, like by the time Batman's doing it. Except for... Okay. Yeah. Wait! That doesn't make sense! fucking does it come in black, make a tank for me, but don't sell it. I just need it for personal reasons.
Well, okay, in the Nolan version, in the Nolan version of Batman, Wayne Tech was super into weapons development, and fucking.
And then he turned around.
When Bruce came back from his fucking training mission,
he was like, I don't
first
like
thing
that
he did
anymore.
was shut that shit down. And
Yeah,
and,
okay.
like, there's that scene where he pisses off the whole board of directors.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. When did we watch
So
that
they did-
movie?
I mean,
Because we watched Resident Evil. Now we have to watch Batman.
I mean, the first one's the best one. And after
Yeah.
that, they stopped feeling like Batman movies. So,
Okay.
I mean, I guess we could if you really want to, but I'd rather just keep watching the fucking cartoons.
Yeah, we'll do that too.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize this. When Heath Ledger died,
Yeah.
I didn't know who. I have a very bad time remembering actors unless you're Nicolas Cage or Willem Dafoe, or sometimes I'll even confuse Christian Bale and Tom Cruise in my head. I'll mix those two guys up. I'll be like, they're the same person. They're a generic dude with strong chin.
Yeah.
And I won't remember them. So like when Heath Ledger died, I was just like, oh, that's the guy who was like the best Joker ever. Okay, well, I mean, it's sad when anybody dies, really.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't really connect with me personally. I just realized this like a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, or something like that, which falls on a few weeks. Heath Ledger was the knight from Knight's Tale.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that because, like, as a kid, I never fucking looked at, like, the names of people because they were just the dude from The Thing. They were just that guy from that movie. I've watched it several times over the years. I just never really look at that kind of shit.
I'm sure we've watched it like twice
Looks
now.
like there was a scuffle.
Probably.
Around the Batmobile. There could
So
be
we
a
just got our
clue
next
as to where
gadget,
she took Gordon.
which is this little explosive gel.
Mm-hmm.
I need
which you
to
can
isolate
plant
a
on
trail from the
any
crime
flat
scene around the
surface.
Batmobile that'll lead me to Gordon.
And does that little explosion. But Batman doesn't
That's
kill
kinda
people,
neat.
so remember that.
But
hit
Batman
him.
don't kill people. How close are we to a save point, or is this free save?
It autosaves.
Oh, okay, cool.
Also, you see, draws a little
He
bat.
makes a smiley face. Oh, okay.
See, it's got the ears, it's got the tail, so it's a little bat.
Nah, it looks like a Joker smile to me.
In future games, when you play as Robin, he draws a little R. He's a fucking dork.
Okay.